Hello everybody, it's GeneralGigan here, stomping back at you with another Minecraft video. In today's video, I'll be going over Kryptonian changes such as power reworks, Kryptonite reworks, and new models. But before the video starts, only a small percentage of people are actually subscribed, so if you end up liking the video, then consider subscribing. This is the second episode of a video series I'm doing of all the upcoming changes in Legend 7.0. Mostly all characters will be updated to some extent, as well as new gameplay features, mobs, and the buildable mech Q himself, so stay tuned.
What we have here is a rare opportunity for me to cut loose and show you just how powerful I really am.
To begin the video, we start with the Man of Steel himself, Superman. But before we get into his powers, I'd like to take the time to show you all the remodels of Superman done by Hero Games FTW. Superman is a tier 5 and his defense is extreme. Superman's class is a tank, which means you can block attacks, reducing incoming damage by 75%. For his passive powers, he has strength 14. Yes, I know before he had strength like 28, but in Legend 7.0 the highest strength a character will have is now 14. This is to make the PvE side of the mod more fun and challenging. Bosses like Kingpin will be rebalanced to accommodate for this. He also has speed 30, but only when sprinting. Now let me say something about the speed. If you have at least speed 15, that means you get step assist 1. If you have speed 25 or above when sprinting, that means you have water running. He also has jump boost 3 and fortitude 9, which gives a slight knockback, fall damage, and certain damage types reduction. He also has mental defense 2, which means he's able to decrease the effects of mental attacks. Nausea effects are reduced if less in the defense's magnitude. Superman's regeneration is 2. Like I said in the speedster video, for every character that has regen, they will regenerate the number of durability every 10 seconds. Superman has regeneration 2, so he regens 2 durability every 10 seconds. However, if Superman is at an altitude of 300, this number increases to 3. And if he's at an altitude of 500, this number increases to 4. The rest of his passive powers are Fire Resistance 2, which makes you immune to both fire and lava, Flight 10, Enhanced Vision, which allows you to be able to see in the dark clearly, Water Breathing, Vacuum Adaptation, which allows you to survive in outer space without the need for external aid. Bulletproof, he is immune to poison, radiation, and smokescreen, and his weaknesses are just Kryptonite unless you're at Kingdom Come, which has a new function, but we'll go over that later in the video. Superman's ability 1 is Heat Vision, which has a new look and function. Emit powerful beams out of your eyes, dealing 12 damage in total. This number decreases to 6 when at a distance. This ability changed due to the fact you can now spray Heat Vision. In previous versions, you just shot out one laser. Now, you are able to burn holes in walls. However, the cooldown has been slightly increased. Ability 2, Freeze Breath, which has a new look when freezing players. Freeze opponents with your icy breath, entrapping them in a block of ice. This move staggers for 1 second. If you don't know what stagger is, then let me remind you. Staggering is a new stats effect that temporarily disables all your abilities for a few seconds. Almost every character has a move that can stagger, but the duration of the stagger is dependent on the character and their move. When hit by a move that staggers, you will see this icon appear above your cooldown bars. When this move is hit on mobs, they will appear blue. Ability 3, Super Breath. Exhale an extraordinary amount of air, blowing back and grounding opponents. This deals 3 damage but decreases to 1 at a distance. This can be used to blow out fire, break leaves, snow, webs, vegetation, and glass. Ability 4, Telescopic Vision. Focus your vision, allowing you to see further. This increases your damage by 1. You know how with the previous powers I said the attack damage decreases out of range? Well, this power makes up for the damage lost. It's great for sniping opponents. Superman's ability 5 is no longer Ground Pound, but rather Sonic Punch. Use your strength to hit your next target so hard that it breaks the sound barrier, generating a shockwave knocking all those nearby. This deals 10 damage to those affected. Upon activation, you have 10 seconds to tag your target. Superman's equipped key is X-Ray Vision, which has its own sound effect now and a slight render change. This ability allows you to see entities through the walls. Superman's utility is Heightened Perception. You process information at a faster rate, causing your perception of time to be slowed down. While in this state, all nearby opponents are stunned for 10 seconds with the distortion effect, allowing you to maneuver around them quickly. Shift to quickly exit. Like I said in the speedster video, on single player it works the same, but on multiplayer it is different. In multiplayer, rather than slowing your game down, it slows down the game of your opponents to make you appear like you're going all over the place. During this, neither you nor your opponent can use their powers. However, if your opponent also has heightened perception, they can enter it with you to attack you. Before we get into Superman's special, I'd like to say two things. 1. All specials in Legend 7.0 will not do over 100 damage. This means everyone's special will do 100 damage or less, unless you're Black Flash specialing a speedster. 2nd, you can no longer just run in a special as Superman, similar to Zoom and Snappy Shockwave. Superman's new special is called Super Flare. Unleash the solar energy stored in every one of your cells, creating a solar flare. This intense heat blast is a more powerful form of heat vision, but also temporarily drains all your powers after use. This move deals 100 maximum damage to the target and 85 to all in the blast zone. Burns all targets for 10 seconds while staggering them. While using, you are temporarily invulnerable. The laser part of the special doesn't stagger, but if hit by it, you will be stunned. Superman is able to hit multiple people with the laser stunning them before the big blast goes off. When the big blast goes off, then all those affected will be staggered.
Protect my city from alien life and anyone else that means to cause it harm. I am Supergirl.
Like I did with the Speedsters, I will only be going over the differences between Kryptonians from now on. But before we get into her powers, we will look at Supergirl's new models by Hero Games FTW. The only passive power Supergirl has that's different is her speed, which is 29, but only when sprinting. Supergirl's ability 5 is Scattershot. Release a super-powered punch, sending your opponent flying. This deals 20 damage while staggering and grounding them for 5 seconds. Upon activation, you have to punch your opponent quickly for it to work. Supergirl's special is Recklessness. Still trying to control your power, you furiously attack, destroying everything in your path. When in this state, your strength increases and your punches become more destructive while damage is reduced by 50%. Deal around 85 to 100 damage over 10 seconds. This move also stuns your opponent on each hit.
I exist only to protect Krypton. That is the sole purpose for which I was born.
General Zod is the slowest Kryptonian out of the three, and that being speed 25 when sprinting. He's also the only Kryptonian to have alignment to the dark side, except for Justice Lord Superman. He also only has flight 7. He is the only Kryptonian to have the same ability 5, and that being Ground Pound. Use your strength to smash a hole in the ground, grounding all opponents in a 4-block radius for 5 seconds. This move deals 10 damage in total. General Zod's special is Kryptonian Combatant, which you use your superior combative skills and tactics to outmaneuver your opponents. When in combat, stagger your opponent using pressure points. This deals around 90 to 100 damage over 4 seconds.
It doesn't take much, does it? The Joker has 20 pounds more where this came from. Thought you might like to know.
In Legend 7.0, Kryptonite works differently. Before, it completely got rid of your powers, but now all Kryptonians can still use some of their abilities. They can use their heat vision, freeze breath, super breath, and their ability 5. They still can't fly and will take damage from being near Kryptonite. The only one this doesn't affect is Superman Kingdom Come. However, there's also a big twist now. You can no longer just hold Kryptonite on you all the time. After holding Kryptonite for 30 seconds, you will get Kryptonite poisoning, similar to how Lex Luthor got it in the Justice League Unlimited show.
My tests indicate you have a rare form of blood poisoning.
Impossible. Remember that chunk of kryptonite you carried around for years? What about it? Kryptonite only affects you.
Actually, we're finding that it can affect humans too, but only if they're exposed over a long period.
The only people who can carry Kryptonite forever are Batman and the lead box in his utility belt, and anyone immune to radiation. However, if you're hit by a Kryptonite arrow, then you will lose all your powers for 30 seconds. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, then consider subscribing for more content like this. Remember, this is yet another one of the big changes happening in Legends version 7.0. So if you're excited, then click that notification bell. Hoorah and epicness of awesomeness.